Welcome to CCC Book Club, everyone. So we are right now currently reading The Third Eye, which is a very exciting book. Now, up till now, we have gone to the secrets of the Yetis. So, Masters, you might not know what a Yeti is, but you can search on Google a Yeti. So, to my a Yeti is like it's type of a human, but people have not seen it a lot of times. So that's what a Yeti is. So Masters, it is extinct now. People are now scared of it, but Masters, Lobsang Rampa see it luckily. So now let me start sharing my screen. So if everyone can see my screen, it'd be nice. So can everyone see my screen?
Yes.
Thank you. So I think we were about here. No, yeah, we were just on. The weather seemed to be getting worse. We decided that we would leave early on the next morning before we were prevented. Our equipment was such as it was carefully overhauled. Ropes were tested and the mules examined for any sores or cuts. At dawn, with feelings of pressure at the thought of being a homeward bound. Now we were a party of 11 instead of 15 who had so cheerfully started out. Day after day, we plodded on, footsore and weary. Our mules began bearing their loads of herbs. Our progress was slow. Time was meaning on us. We toiled on in a daze and fatigue. Now we were on half rations and constantly hungry. At last, we came in the sight of the lakes again, and to our great joy, we saw the caravan of yaks grazing near by. The traders welcomed us, pressed food and tea on us, and did all they could to ease our weariness. We were tattered and bruised. Our robes were in rags, and our feet were bleeding where great blisters had burst. But we had been to Tang Mountains and returned, some of us. My guide had now been twice, perhaps the only man in the world to have made 2 such journeys. The trader looked after us well, crouched in round the yak dung fire in the dark of the night. They wagged their heads in amazement as he told our experience. We enjoyed their tales of journey to India and the meetings with other traders from the Hindu Kush. We were sorry to leave these men and wished that they were going in our direction. Let's just see the screen. We were sorry for the they have recently set out from Lhasa. We returning there. So in the morning, we parted with mutual expressions of goodwill. Many monks will not converse with traders, but Lama Minga Dondak thought that all men are equal, race, color, or creed meant not. It was a man's intentions and actions only that counted. Now our strength was renewed. We were going home. The countryside becoming greener, more fertile, and at last we came in sight of a gleaming gold of Potala and our own Chakpuri, just a little higher than the peak. Mules are wise animals. Ours were in a hurry to get to their own home and show, and they pulled us so hard that we had difficulty in restraining them. One of us thought that they had been to Chang Tang and not us. We climbed the stony road up the iron mountain with joy at being back at Chambola, that we call frozen north. 1 minute. The countryside was becoming greener, more fertile, and at least we came of the golden Potala and our own Chakpuri, just a little higher than the peak. Mules are wise animals. Ours were in a hurry to get home in show and pulled us so hard that we had difficulty in restraining them. One would have thought that they had been to Chang Tang and not us. We believed the stony road. We climbed the stony road up the iron mountain. Now began a road of receptions, but first we had to see the inmost one. His reaction was illumining. You have done what I should like to do, seeing the iridly sight to see. Here I have all power, yet I'm a prisoner of my people. The greater of power and the less of freedom. The higher the rank, the more a servant. And I would give it all up to see what you have done. Lama Vingya Tondap, as the leader of the expedition, was given the scarf of honor with red triple knots. I, because I was the youngest member, was simply honored. I knew that an award at both ends embraced everything in between. For weeks after, we were traveling to other lamasaries to lecture, to distribute special herbs, and to give me the opportunity to seeing other districts. First, we had to visit the three seats, Tripang, Serra, and Gandin. From thence, we went further afield. A Georgie Tag and a Sami boat on the river Sangpo, 40 miles away. We also visited Samden Lamasuri between the Dumi and Yamdok lakes, 14,000 feet above sea level. It was a relief to follow the course of our own river, the Hichu. For us, it was a truly well named a river of happiness. All the time, my instruction had been continued while we rode, when we stopped, and when we rested. Now the time of the examination for the Lama degree was near, and so we returned once again to Chakpuri in order that I was not distracted. So, masters, remember that we only have like 20 more pages or 19 more pages to go. Then, masters, congratulations. We have completed the book after like 19 pages. A considerable amount to now, which is chapter 16, masters, Lamahood. A considerable amount of training was now given to me in the art of astral traveling, where the spirit or ego leaves the body and remains connected to life on earth only by the silver cord. Many people find it difficult to believe that we travel in this way. Everyone does when they sleep. Nearly always in the West, it is voluntary. In the East, lamas can do it when fully conscious. Thus, They give a complete memory of what they have done and what they have seen and where they have been. In the West, people think have lost the art, and so when they return to wakefulness, they think that they have had a dream. So masters, what Rampa saying right now is no. All of this stuff is real. You went there in the silver code. Its soul is connected to the silver cord. It has traveled. So masters, if any of you guys people have seen Egypt, your soul went to Egypt and came back in like 8 hours, which is typically impossible by car masters. So it's really cool. All countries have a knowledge of astral journeying. In England, it is alleged that witches can fly. Broomsticks are not necessary, except a meaning of rationalization, which people do not want to believe. In the USA, the spirits of the red man are said to fly. In all countries, everywhere, there is a buried known ledge of such things. I was taught to do it. So can anyone be. Telepathy is another art which is easy to master, but not if it is going to use by a stage turn. Fortunately, this art is now gaining some recognition. Hypnotism is yet another art of the East. I have carried out major operations on hypnotized patients, such as leg amputations and those of an equally serious nature. The patient feels nothing, suffers nothing, and awakens in better condition through not having to suffer the effects of orthodox anesthetics. Now, so I am told, hypnotism is used to limit extent in England. Invisibility is another matter. It is very good thing that invisibility is beyond many more than the very, very few. The principle is easy. The practice is difficult. Think of what attracts you. A noise, a quick movement, or a flashing color. Noises and quick actions rouse people, make them notice one. An immobile person is not so easily seen, nor is a familiar type of class of person. The man who brings the mail, often people will say that no one has been here, no one at all. Yet their mail will have been brought. How? By an invisible man, or one who is a familiar sight that was not seen or perceived. So Marcy's he's asking us a question now. So let's see. How so if you have mail, no mail has come. But the second answer is correct because he's actually a mailman, but he was so silent that you don't notice. So masters, I always check the mail just to see if an invisible mailman has come. So yeah. A policeman is always seen as nearly everyone has a guilty conscience. To attain a state of invisibility, one must suspend action and also suspend one's brain waves. If the physical brain is allowed to function, think, any other person near becomes telepathically aware, sees, and so the state of invisibility is lost. There are many in Tibet who can become invisible at will, but they are able to shield their brainwaves. It is perhaps fortunate that there are few in number. Levitation can be accomplished and sometimes is solely for technical exercise involved. It is a clumsy method of moving around. The effort involved is considerable. The real adept uses astral traveling, which is a truly a good matter of the utmost simplicity, provided one has a good teacher. I had and I could and can do astral traveling. I could not make myself invisible in spite of my most earnest efforts. It would have been a great blessing to be able to vanish when I wanted to when I wanted to do something unpleasant, but this was denied me. But this was denied me. Nor, as I have said before, I possessed the musical talent. Nor, as I said before, as I possessed of musical talents. My singing voice brought down the wrath of the music teacher, but that wrath was not to commotion I caused when I tried to play the cymbals, thinking of anyone could use those things and quite accidentally caught a poor unfortunate monk on either side of the head. I was advised unkindly to stick to clairvoyance and medicine. We did much of what is termed yoga in the Western world. It is, of course, a very great science, and one can improve a human almost beyond belief. My own personal opinion is that yoga is not suitable for Western people without very considerable modifications. The science has been known to us for centuries. We are taught the positions of our early stage. Our limbs, skeleton, and muscles are trained to yoga. Western people, perhaps of middle age, who try off these postures can definitely harm themselves. It's merely my opinion as a Tibetan, but I do feel that unless there is a set of exercise that has been so modified, people could be warned against trying them. Again, one needs a very good native teacher, one thoroughly trained in male or and female autonomy is far to be avoided. Not merely the postures can do harm, but the breathing exercise also. Breathing is a particular pattern is the main secret of many Tibetan phenomena. But here again, unless one has a wise and experienced teacher, such exercises can be extremely harmful and is, if not fatal. Many travelers have written of the racing ones, lamas, you can control the body weight, not not levitation, and race at high speed for hours and hours over the ground, hardly touching the earth in passing. So Master's Rampa's telling now everything about like he just telling everything about the powers that a llama can have. So Masters, I don't know about you, but I find it pretty fascinating. It just a little fascinating because like I'm really confused how people can turn invisible. So Masters, I don't know if you know, but I was trying to turn invisible right now. Cause like I just want to try.
Mukund, you need to go all the way back to know how to do it and learn it how Lobsang did. It'll take years of practice, didn't he say that? You can't just do it the minute you learn that you can do it.
Yeah, but I'm just trying to do it. I never said I want to do it right now. Just trying. But anyways, Rampa's only 12 years old. I'm what, 9 right now, so I can try to do it.
He started when he was 7.
No, but I also started reading this book when I was 8. Anyways. So let's now start reading. It takes much practice, and the racer has to be semi-trained state. Evening is the best time when there are stars upon which to gaze, and the terrain must be monotonous with nothing to break the semi-trance state. The man who is speeding so in a condition similar to that of a sleepwalker, he visualizes his destination, keeps it constant before his third eye, and unceasingly recites the appropriate mantra. Hour after hour, he will race and reach his destination untired. This system has only one advantage in our astral traveling. When traveling by the latter, one moves in the spiritual state and so cannot move material objects, cannot, for example, carry one's belongings. The Arjapa, one calls the racer, can carry his normal load, but he labors under disadvantages in this term. Correct breathing enables Tibetans adepts to sit naked on ice 17,000 feet or so above sea level and can keep hot, so hot that the ice is melted and adept freely perspires. The digression for a moment, the other day I said that I had done this myself at 18,000 feet above sea level. My listener quite seriously asked me, with the tide in or tide out? Have you ever tried to lift a heavy object when your lungs were empty of air? Try it and you'll discover it to be almost impossible. Then fill your lungs as much as you can, hold your breath and lift it with ease. Or you may be frightened or angry. Take a deep breath as deep as you can and hold it for 10 seconds. And exhale slowly. Repeat 3 times at least. You'll find that your heart beats are slowed up and you feel calm. These are things which can be tried to by anyone at all without harm. A knowledge of breath control helped me to understand Japanese tortures and more tortures when I was a prisoner of the communists. The Japanese are worse than the gentlemen compared to the communists. I know both at their worst. At the time had now come when I was to take the actual examination for Lamahood. Before this, I had to be blessed by the Dalai Lama. Every year, he blesses every monk in Tibet individually, not in bulk as does, for example, Pope of Rome. The inmost one touches the majority with a tassel attached to a stick. Those whom he favors or who are of high rank, he touches them on the head with one hand. The highly favored ones are blessed by him by placing 2 hands on the person's head. For the first time, he placed both hands on me, said in a low voice, "You're doing well, my boy. Do even better at the examination. Justify the faith we have placed in you." 3 days for my 16th birthday, presented myself for the examination together with 14 other candidates. So masters, so this all story has only it has been so long. It looks like it's very short, but 4 years of thing. I think when he went out, it is 2 years or at least 1 month. Josha, can we stop the share and let's jump into questions and answers?
We should stop at 8:45, Mukund.
Okay.
So 5 more minutes.
The examination boxes seemed to be smaller, or perhaps it was that I was bigger. When I lay on the floor with my feet against one wall, I could touch the other wall with my hands above my head, but my arms had to be bent as they were not enough to stretch them straight. The boxes were square, and at the front of the wall was such that I could just touch the top of with my outstretched hands, again with my arms above my head. The back wall was about twice my height. There was no roof, so at least we had ample air. Once again, we were searching for before entering, and as we were allowed to take in our wooden bowl, our rosary, and writing material. With the invigilators satisfied, we led one by one to a box, told to enter, and after we had done so, the door was shut and a bar put across. Then the abbot and head examiner came and fixed a huge seal so that the door could not be opened. A trap hatch, some several inches square, could only be opened from the outside. Through this, we were passed examination papers at the beginning of each day. We worked papers were collected at dusk. Rampa was also passed and as well once a day, but the tea was different. We could have as much as we want by merely calling Poja Kesho, bring tea, as we were not allowed out for any purpose whatever. We did not drink too much. My own stay in the box was for 10 days. I was taking the herbal examination, anatomy, a subject which I had already a very good knowledge, and divinity. Those subjects occupied me from first to last, like seemingly 5 seemingly endless days. The 6th day brought a change and a commotion. From a nearby came howls and screams, running footsteps, a babble of voices, clatter of a heavy wooden door being unbarreled. Soothing murmurs and screams subsided to a sobbing undertone. For one, the examination had ended. For me, the second half was about to start. An hour later, 6 days' papers were bought. Metaphysics, yoga, 9 branches of it, and I had to pass in the whole lot. 5 branches are known to be very slightly to the Western world. Hatha Yoga teaches mastery over purely physical body or vehicle, as we term it. Kundalini Yoga gives one physical power, clairvoyance, and similar powers. Laya Yoga teaches mastery over the mind. One of offshoots is to remember permanently a thing once read or heard. Raja Yoga prepares one for transcendental consciousness and wisdom. Samadhi Yoga leads to supreme beyond earth on life. This is a branch which enables one at great extent of leaving this earth life to grasp the greater reality and abandon round of rebirth. This one decided to return to earth for a special purpose, such as to help others in particular way. The other forms of yoga cannot be discussed in a book of this nature. Certainly, my knowledge of the English language is inadequate to do justice as such illustrious subjects. So, Master, with this, we'll stop here. So, in this book, it is page 171. And in like, I don't know if you can see this, but the PDF, this is 165 page, Masters. So okay. So
Mukund, do you want to ask everyone for question time?
Okay. First is Joshua, because you're already on mute.
You did very good today, Mukund. And who's telling you tomorrow again?
Tomorrow, I think it's you, Joshua, or
let me check.
It's a
I think it's ready.
Wait, okay, but will Reddy be because Reddy's not attending the class either, not Ryan.
I'll check with them if why they're not joining. Let me just check who's telling you tomorrow to confirm.
It's okay, Joshua.
Oh, it's ready.
Because you don't have to ask because I'm sure Reddy knows.
You didn't tell it last time. I don't think she knows.
Okay. Let's move on to Arya.
Yes. Do I have to ask a question?
Any questions or feedback?
Oh yeah. I really liked your reading. It was nice how you read so many pages without hesitation.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Arya. Okay. Next, we move on to Hazel.
Yeah, Mukund, like every day, you have explained it very well.
Thank you, Hazel.
My favorite part was when he was telling little about yoga.
Okay. Also, I was also trying to I really want to do all of these types of yoga, especially the hypnotic yoga. To know
Well, then you'll have to go into deep studies. You'll have to go into Tibet and try to locate something about it.
Okay, I'm ready to go soon. Maybe when I'm older, I can go.
Well, you can. Well, for these holidays after school finishes, you might get to go. Try to.
If COVID is not there.
But COVID is actually going. COVID is actually going down now. By the end of this year, I think it'll be completely gone. Should I end the recording now?
By the end of this year, the cases will be gone, but everyone would have COVID. Cases would be gone.
Yeah.
Okay,
everyone, I will stop recording. If you want to leave, you can leave. And if you want to join, if you want to stay, you can stay. We'll stop recording.